Hi everybody, it's Sandy from Urban Rebel Designs in Aztec, New Mexico. I'm going to give it just a minute for a couple of people to jump on, but I'll show you what we're going to be making tonight. So we're going to be making a little spring chalkboard. This one is in various stages of finish, but the finish that we're going for, hi Jasmine, is this really neat chippy textured finish, and it's pretty easy to create. We'll start by telling you how we made the chalkboard. It's really simple, so this is a quick easy project if you want to make one. This is just a little piece of Luan cut to size, and then for the frame I have used some wainscoting, some unfinished wainscoting that you can probably get at any home store, and then just cut it down and made a really simple frame. I wanted on my chalkboard, I wanted it to be kind of that antique green that you used to see years ago in classrooms. So the way that I made it was I just used a mixture of colored greens, and I added just a little bit of midnight sky to it to darken it up just a bit. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna flip it around. I'm gonna try to hold it up here where you can see. Tonight we're using two of my favorite Dixie Belle colors. Hi Betty, hi Kay. We're gonna use Rebel Yellow, of course, and the Golf. And if you'll notice, this is kind of weird and kind of cute. My nails match the Golf because I got desperate today. I looked at my manicure, it looked horrible. So I used Dixie Belle paint to paint my nails. All I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to dip out just a little bit of Rebel Yellow onto a styrofoam plate, and then we're gonna use a sea sponge. The secret to this is your first time watching, Nancy. Well, welcome, we're glad to have you tonight. The secret to this finish is we've got to create a texture, so when we knock the Golf back, the Rebel Yellow comes through. So I'm just using a sea sponge. I'm just dipping it in a little bit. I'm gonna hold this up so you can see, and I'm just gonna dab along the edge. I like to create unusual finishes. So if you come into our shop, I'm usually playing with something that's a little off the wall. So that's our first coat of the Rebel Yellow, and you see it looks like I sponge painted it. But now we're going to move on to this side where I've already done the first coat, and we're going to do the second coat. Hi Kimbra. And for the second coat, I'm gonna go a little bit heavier so you can see on my sponge that I have a little bit more paint. And you're trying to create texture. I'm gonna try to get up here. Light's not great, but you're trying to create texture, so when you pounce it, really lift it up. Oh, we've got another first timer. Gloria, I think. It moved too fast, I'm sorry. Yes. Hi, Mr. Billy. First time watching in a long time, since last week. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Lynn. Okay, so I'm just going to finish up on this side, and there we have our second coat. And I don't know if you can see it. See if I can block the glare a little bit. If you can see it very well, see right there where I have some texture. We're going to let that dry, and it will stay textured. So this side is dry. It's what we're going to work on. See the texture right here? So next, all we're going to do is we're going to use the Golf, and we're going to paint over it. And I'll be perfectly honest, I'm neat around the edges. I'm not real neat with the rest of it, because I'm going to be knocking this back a little bit to give it that aged, chippy look. So I just want to make sure that it's fairly covered. one thing I wanted to show you was, see, I don't have paint all the way up my brush. It's just the tips. Hi, Miss Susie, I see you. One of the great things about Dixie Belle is if you're using a damp brush, and I probably should have said this, but I've already sprayed this brush, it's damp. It makes the paint go a lot further. And the coverage is fantastic with it. So what we would do is we would let this dry, where we just went over it with the Gulf, and that would take here probably 10 minutes to completely dry. And after it's dried, I'm about to get paint all over my hands. Then I just take a sanding sponge, and I think this one is a 120 grit. Yep, it's a 120 grit, just regular old cheap sanding sponge. And then I just lightly go over it, and where we created the texture up here, it will come off first, and that's what gives us the neat little Easter egg speckles. And then I would probably, when I get completely finished, because grunge gray wax is my absolute favorite thing on earth, I'm probably going to go over the whole frame with grunge gray wax. You don't want to put wax or a top coat in the center where your chalkboard is going to be. One thing that I wanted to talk about was how to season your chalkboard. This is just Dixie Belle paint, so you can make a chalkboard any color that you want to. I happen to want this one to look a little old school, so I did the collard greens with a little bit of Midnight Sky mixed in. But to use it as a chalkboard, you just need to get, this is a piece of sidewalk chalk, just a piece of chalk, and we're going to season it. So we're just going to, that's a horrible sound, I'm sorry. But we're just going to cover the whole thing in chalk. And then I'm going to take a paper towel. If you happen to have an eraser, that's even better. No, Billy, I did not use Slick Stick before painting my nails. Thanks for the question, though. Then I am just wiping this back, and I'm actually going to go, pardon me just a second, to get rid of the dust. So now it's seasoned, and it looks more like one of the old school chalkboards. And also, my favorite thing to use on a chalkboard is, I cannot say the brand name of this, but they're wax chalk markers. So when you write on it, it goes on like a crayon, but as it dries to a chalk, so you can clean it off. Pardon the handwriting, but on camera that's the best I can do. Please like, comment, and share this video for your chance to win an 8-ounce jar of paint in your choice of colors. I can give you all my favorite colors. There are only 64 of my favorite colors. Dixie Belle will be picking the winner at the end of the video, but I'll walk you through one more time what we did. For the chalkboard, all I did was I mixed collard greens with just a little bit of Midnight Sky to get the old school green chalkboard color. You can use black, you can use red, you can use any of the 64 colors. It works beautifully. All of my signage here at the store, all of my big chalkboards where I list my class schedules and all the specials, I did with Dixie Belle paint. And then we took a sea sponge and Rebel Yellow, and we did one coat of sponging along the edges. We let that dry completely, and then we go back with the Rebel Yellow and we do a second coat a little bit thicker. And this time when we pull it up, when we're dabbing it and we pull it up, we want to pull straight up so we're creating texture. After that, we went to this side where we completely covered the frame in the Gulf, same color as my fingernails. We'll let this dry, and then we went over, I go over the entire frame with a sanding block. If you're nervous about it, then just go over the portion that you painted with the Rebel Yellow to get the really pretty, like, speckled Easter eggs, you know, the malted milk eggs. Oh, Lord, I love those things. That's what this reminds me of. So, do we have any questions? You're going to find a local vendor? Perfect. All you need to do is go to DixieBellePaint.com, and it will have a place that says find your local retailer. Put in your zip code, or I think you can do your city and state, and it will give you a list of the retailers that are in your area. Again, I am Sandy with Urban Rebel Designs in Aztec, New Mexico. Yes, Billy, I do ship. If you're interested, you can send me a private message. Also, if you enjoyed this and you want to follow my Facebook page, it's Urban Rebel Designs on Facebook, and we have a lot of fun there. Hi, Sandy, you've got a great name. Hi, Marlene. Thanks for loving the technique. I'm not going to keep you long. It's Wednesday night. I know everybody's busy and everybody's tired, but thanks for joining me, and we'll see you soon.